Evening. Aha, good evening. Hi. Welcome to our spring concert and award ceremony. It's exciting for us to share this performance with you tonight, mostly because it's our first one of the year to be here in this beautiful auditorium and on this wonderful stage. So thank you for joining us tonight. This year's sixth graders have developed wonderfully. Again, I know I've said this at the last couple of concerts, but it really is so much fun to watch the sixth graders develop, especially since the beginning of fifth grade. Being able to meet together every day instead of just once or twice a week really does a lot for their development and very quickly. So congratulations, sixth graders, on a fabulous year. In February, your children may or may not have shared with you that we did a storytelling unit in band class where we took all of our sheet music we had at the time and we developed stories based on the musical clues that the composer gave us. So in your program notes that you have in your hands tonight, there are some of those stories, just little pieces and parts of the stories. But if you're interested in what your child might have to say about their music tonight, make sure you ask them in the car on the way home, because some of them really, really got into the storytelling portion of that unit and have some really complex storylines and plots to share with you. It was amazing to watch their creativity just take off with character development and rising action, conflict, resolution. It was really, really amazing to watch that process as we went through it together. So again, congratulations to the sixth graders. We still have 2 more pieces to share with you tonight. The seventh graders have several new instruments on stage this year. So at our last concert, we introduced the baritone saxophone, and tenor saxophone. And tonight we're introducing 3 bass clarinetists and a tuba. So they're continue to be very excited and motivated by the new instruments in their hands. So thank you to those parents who have agreed to let their child experiment with something new this year as a 7th grader, and forgive all the squeaks and squawks that might occur in your household as a result. And they've made wonderful progress though, and we're really proud of them, so thanks. Again, the 7th graders also did a storytelling unit back in February. The piece we just played, Sound Fury, several of the students developed a story about dueling fairies, which was a creative interpretation of that piece, we thought. So again, we still have 2 more pieces to share with you from the 7th grade, so we hope you enjoy them. I did forget one announcement for the 7th grade. We have an emergency fill-in that I need to give a big thank you to Brook Miranda. She is a temporary fill-in for us on this piece. And we did not get a chance to practice this, so I'm sure it'll be fine. But if we have to stop, it's fine. It's totally fine. But just in case. So this is officially the 8th graders. We call it their last performance, even though it's not really, because they still have 2 performances yet this spring. The first is the first of its kind for them. They'll be competing in the OMEA. That stands for the Ohio Music Education Association Adjudicated Event. That's a very long title for an event that will be going down to Big Walnut High School and performing for a panel of judges, and they'll receive a rating. The 3 songs in the first portion of their program here, the Collegiate, and then the 2 they're about to play for you, that's what we call their contest show. Those 3 pieces will be played for that panel of judges, and they'll receive a rating of 1, 2, 3, or 4. And so we're, of course, always hoping for a 1, always hoping for that superior, but as cheesy as it might seem, the answer and that we're really looking for them is the journey that they've been on. And what a pleasure the journey has been with this group of kids. They are amazing. They're all amazing, but it's especially fun when you get a group of kids like these where you can pretty much put any piece of music in front of them and they can figure it out. And that is a true blessing. I can't give them enough music. In their folders right now, you guys have what, like 8 pieces or something? And they just can't get enough of them. And so their true passion for music and for working together is a testament to that. So thank you, 8th graders. Parents, speaking of OMEA, I know you might have been looking at the calendar expecting me to announce whether or not we're going on the 5th or the 6th, and the answer still is, I don't know. We will know 2 weeks before the event, and as soon as I know, even if it happens at midnight, I will send you an email. I promise. Okay? So thank you for being patient with that piece of information. I also wanted to point out in the program there are announcements on the final page here. So it outlines the OMEA event I just talked about. All of the middle school students in the music courses are performing in the All-City Fine Arts Festival on May 17th. And then the last 3 announcements are all for 8th graders. 8th grade baby pictures could be sent to school or emailed to me as soon as possible so that we can complete the baby trivia at the end of the school year. And then May 19th is for continuing high school students only from the current 8th grade class for the band marathon. That is a fundraiser. So if you have not yet started going around to friends and family and asking for those contributions, please do so, because all of that money that's fundraised through the marathon goes directly to your child's band camp fees. Speaking of band camp fees, those are also due May 19th. So parents, please send along whatever funds you did not fundraise along with your child on May 19th that day. If you have any questions about any of those announcements, feel free to stop and speak with me or Mr. Karg after the concert tonight or shoot me an email. Thank you. I'd now like to welcome to the stage Mr. Jeremy Karg, High School Director of Bands, to announce all of our 8th grade awards this evening. 8th graders, please put your instruments in a safe place so they do not get stomped or knocked. Thank you.
Hello. Alexis Close. Christina Dillon. Addie Hankins. Anastasia Hyatt. Lissa Hudson. Maria Stolley. Madison Taylor. Emma Verbsky. Brooklyn Bufkin. Cheyenne Klingerman. Lauren Easton. Aaron Jackson. Destiny Dick. Levon Howard. Evan Kaufman. Samantha Starkey. Justin Carper. Cameron Klein. Morgan Jenkins. Hayden Deitch. Olivia Ader. Lily Evans. Ben Parsons. Dawson Roberts. Candace Millball. Sarah Starkey. Kobe Brown. Marcus Brugler. Griffin Frisbee. Caitlin Hutchins. Bailey Kemper. And Brooke Miranda.
Thank you, Mr. Carr. Can we have one big round of applause for all of our 8th graders? In addition to all the 8th graders getting their individual awards, we have a few special awards we give each year. The first is, excuse me, something we call the top 10. And this is based on nominations from their peers. These are all students who exhibit great musicianship, leadership skills, all the dedication and great characteristics that you expect to find from a band student. So I'd like to congratulate this year's top 10. Evan Kaufman, Marcus Brugler, Brooke Miranda, Emma Verbsky, Bailey Kemper, Maria Stolley, Anastasia Hyatt, Aaron Jackson, Ben Parsons, and Caitlin Hutchins. For our top 10. Thanks, guys. You can have a seat. We have two special awards that are based on nominations from their peers, but are also based on consideration from Mr. Karg and myself. I've had the pleasure of working with these students for 2 years, and Mr. Karg had these students as 6th graders. So it's important to me, and I think in the decision-making, to include him in this process, as well as their peers. So all of that together creates 2 awards. The first is the 110% award. This student seems quiet, but is really full of personality. They're always willing to go the extra mile, even learning a new instrument this year. She takes private lessons and is continuing on her instrument at BHS next year. And she is always one of my go-to students for any task around the band. It wouldn't be 8th grade band without Sarah Starkey. That award and then this second award called the Director's Award are also added to a large plaque that hangs in the middle school band room. So the Director's Award actually dates back, at least in this district at the 8th grade level, back to 1976, excuse me. And there are many of our own members of the community that are listed on that plaque there over the years. So this year's Director's Award. Have you ever known a student who just exudes creativity? This student can't soak up enough music, playing 3 instruments and always asking for opportunities to learn more. Private lessons, hours of independent work outside class, and a constant drive to do her best. However, she's also extremely gentle and kind and knows how to lead and motivate her section through example and also kind suggestion. Where would the band be without the dedication, leadership, and musicianship of Madison Taylor? One more round of applause for all of our 8th graders.
Hi, can you hear me? I'm Brooke Miranda, and this is Morgan Jenkins, and I know I can speak for the rest of the 8th grade band to say that we couldn't have done any of this without Mrs. Young, and we are very grateful for her because she puts up with us. She may have to tell us a couple times we need to be quiet, but overall we do get our stuff done and we do it having fun. So on behalf of the rest of the 8th grade, we would like to present her with these flowers.
So we've started a new tradition. The 8th graders get to choose a song of their year, or I suppose of their middle school years. And there's a funny story with this one. Over the last 2 years, whenever we talk about choosing music, this one somehow gets shouted out. Not even written down or politely suggested, I mean shouted across the room. And I kept saying, no, 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 we have all these other opportunities. We have all of these things, all these things, all these things. And so finally, when I realized we had to choose a song of the year, I really didn't even ask them. I just assumed that's what they wanted to do. And I ordered it, and it came in, and I handed it out to them, and one student in particular I thought was going to cry happy tears. And they, I hope, are as excited to present this piece to you. So we've got just this, and then I think it's another tradition that we've begun. It's to end this final concert of the year with a fight song. I think it's an appropriate way to send our 8th graders on to their next new exciting journey.